This might not be the episode for you, but I'm going to be talking about my work today. It's something that I've put off doing for a long time. That was kind of the point of Noise with Ivan in the first place. But today's the day to do it. Um, I feel that my music does not get attention from me anymore. It's something that I don't focus on, and I don't give it the context that it needs. I don't give it the support that it needs. It's almost as if I made it because I had to make it. It was on my chest and I had to get it out. But I just didn't ever do anything for it or say anything about it. And um, yeah, I have fallen into that recently. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, starting with Portraits of Cain. Roll the intro. I have really been on a kick with creating albums. Labor Pains and Hanging On by a Thread both came out yesterday. I mean, yesterday. And I didn't expect them to. Or no, I think Hanging On by a Thread came out at midnight today. Or at midnight, like this morning at midnight. Um, and then Labor Pains was on Sunday on Militant Liturgy. One was on Spotify, one was on the Militant Liturgy Bandcamp page. But then the week before that, I had Famished come out, which was a Harsh Noise wall, and these other two projects were kind of like synthy things. To be honest with you, Labor Pains was amazing. But the crazy thing about these two releases that came out yesterday, because I got the time to listen to them both about this morning. Both of them I didn't remember making. I don't remember why I named the tracks what I did on Labor Pains. I know the concept of Labor Pains from Romans 8, but and all throughout the Bible we're talking about it, but I'm not remembering the context in which I named the first track this, the second track that, the third track this. And I'm completely lost. And I couldn't tell someone like I used to be able to do, what does this mean? What drove you to do this? Um, so I wanted to do what I've always meant to do with this. I posted on my Instagram before I even had a artist Instagram account, just for friends and family to see what the first three albums meant. But that was before I was doing all of this. That's before it was kind of my job. And I feel that these need the context for the listeners. Even though it may very well be there, and I talk to a lot of the people that listen to my music. But the first thing is Portraits of Cain. That was the first release I did. I recorded it when I was 17, when I'd first gotten out of high school. And what I wanted to do, this was before I had got a job. I didn't get a job till I was 18, so I had a little gap year in there. But I wanted to record. The only thing I did was church, and I went to church, and the music minister. I did sound for the church, and the music minister was a little bit condescending. So I would think, man, uh, I am just so ready to show everybody that I'm an incredible musician. Y'all don't even know how good at music I am. I'm incredible, honestly. And when I go to make an album, you're gonna know. You're gonna see it. You're gonna be able to tell. And my high school band wasn't doing it. The band that I played in high school wasn't doing anything. I started working on it, and the name of it before it was Portraits of Cain was Young Women and Dead Men. My thought process was, that's what the world treasures, is dead men who did amazing things, created ingenious things, or something like that, and then young women who are beautiful and look attractive and sing all the pop songs. And I didn't feel as getting to the root of probably why I named it that, I didn't feel as a young man that I was appreciated, or my artwork was appreciated, or my ingenious was appreciated. I was very, very self-involved. And so I prayed about it one day up in this loft right above my head. I prayed about it and I said, I want to create something great. I want to create something amazing. I don't think that I allowed myself to see the real reason that I was trying to make an album. And I prayed about it, and I requested an influence or inspiration or something real to talk about or make an album about, something real to compose about, something that was worth expressing, because I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't figure out a song name. Couldn't figure anything like that out. It wasn't worth it. Nothing was. Nothing was inspiring me except wanting attention. And God said, if I could put it that way, it was what He revealed to me in that moment. Essentially, what He said was, why would I bless you with something so that you can worship yourself? Don't you live for me? Aren't you my servant? Why is this all about you? Why am I making you, blessing you in a life to live for yourself? It doesn't have anything to me if it's all about you. So you don't need me to glorify you. You need to glorify me. And if you're a Christian, that's the case. I was always tripped out. It was like, and this time, my personal life surrounded this. I'm just talking about what was going on musically, but there was a whole lot of, in my personal life, there's a whole lot of that sort of superiority complex that I had at the time. There was a whole lot that had to do with that superiority complex that was changed in prayer. A whole lot of this, I know you made me to be great, oh God, but He didn't make me to be great. He made me to worship Him. Or I didn't know Scripture. I thought I believed in God, and I thought that I was a Christian, and I was saved, but God certainly had to refocus me at that time onto Him and not on myself. And so that's why I made Portraits of Cain, because I was Googling and I was like, what's a really selfish character? Because I found this selfishness in my life, and this is what I'm going to make the album about, selfishness. So I started reworking that album with a different context. I had this old, it was Audiotonic, or there's another name for it. I had this old Samsung laptop. We have had that laptop 20 years. Crazy amount of time. And I was using Audiotonic or Audiotonic. There was another word for it. Don't remember. Audiotonic or the other name for it, one of the two. And I had a mixing board that I was doing no input mixing with, and I had some pedals, and I learned to briefly make noise music with that, but it was a lot of guitar as well. I was recording guitar and putting it on there. What I would do was, it was mostly that a looper pedal, a little Behringer looper pedal. That I wish I had some of these things around to show. If we pause, then I'll go grab that mixing board if I can find it. You want to know something crazy? Is it was right here the whole time. It's a Behringer Eurorack MXB 1002. This was the classic device, and it was just simple, no input. Oh my gosh, this is nasty. There's so much dust on it. Anyway, so it's a very simple device, and what you can do is I think I had this plugged up to a Scarlett USB. I wonder if I have that here still. Yes, I do. This was plugged into this through, I think, the headphones out. And then every one of the other cables was leaving here and going into one of these. All these other outputs would go into this, and then that would turn all these channels into oscillators. So this monitor send, this would turn it up in this channel, and this channel would get sent to here, so that it would, you could create that oscillator to where it was just a feedback loop of so that's no input mixing. And yeah, it was very cool and fun to learn how to make noise with that. And then what you do is, let's say I wanted to go from the monitor send into channel 2, I would go into the monitor send and then put a guitar pedal in there and then go into channel 2. So that all the guitar pedals I had from my dad is awesome. He makes guitar pedals and provided me with many growing up. So I was prepared, and actually the music minister that I felt was condescending at the time, which you feel that any teacher or leader in your life is condescending at times. I'm sure. If you're really a self-exalting person like I was, you would think that way. But yeah, he was the one who gave me this, and also this. This 4-track recorder, and I used those briefly, and I've been helping him set up his studio, and he's been he's given me a handful of other crap lately, which, you know what, it would be fun to just do an equipment video, because I have tons of stuff. I have tons of equipment everywhere, and most of what I use is just software. I have a really nice Arturia keyboard, but I use this Akai MPK, like a $20 thing, and I use this Strega, and then everything else is software. Like, because what am I going to do? Reset? That absolutely demolishes my creativity, the idea that I'm going to have to reset everything. But it's also so beneficial for noise artists to reset everything, hook a bunch of things up, do exactly like I was saying, take cables and go like that. But I'll go a long time with the same patches in my Strega. Even though I don't have any patches in it right now, I'll have to get set up again. I think there's a frog in here. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, that was why the album was called Portraits of Cain. And yeah, it was a looper pedal. You can tell that it was a looper pedal, and a whole lot of overdubbing with that looper pedal. And just me at very first learning how to make patches and figure out how to do things with that. And it took a lot of work. And it was weird. Everything was so much different. I mean, I really winged it at that time, until later on I got another laptop, and my buddy Scott Boyd, I need to find out what he's doing now so I can promote his music. But he was awesome, and he hooked me up with all kinds of software on that thing, and taught me how to use Reaper for the first time, which is a free audio, kind of free. In its own way, it's free. Audio software. You can use the trial version forever, I suppose is what I mean. And then eventually I went to sound school online, and I got MacBooks, and I alternate these MacBooks, and Pro Tools is the way I go. So I would say for my for Portraits of Cain, it was Audiotonic with that old laptop, and I posted it to YouTube. It's on this YouTube channel. It's not on Spotify or anywhere else. Um, but then Man Hates God was done with that computer that Boyd gave me, and I did the Superheroes Club stuff, which is pretty much gone away into a void at this point. Oh, the sound is bothering me. And I renamed it. I put it under my own name and called it How to Emulate Love. I think it's still the name of it, the album. And gave it that crazy AI cover. That's back when you could get AI to do ridiculous stuff, and now it's gotten so much better. Yeah. I miss making the craziest pictures you've ever seen with AI. Yeah, I don't remember too much about those. But that was my reason for Portraits of Cain. I was wondering if I should get into why I made Man Hates God, but if you don't get the time to watch the other one, it's basically, and I'll make another one eventually, talking about, I have a stream of albums, Man Hates God, Handwritten Letters, all that. Handwritten Letters will definitely need its own video. Handwritten Letters, Crochet, and Slavery. That's all that I really want to cover. It would be nice to talk about labor pains, famished, stuff like that. What came out recently was that kind of folksy album I did with the cassette tapes. Um, with the trees, Weird Dreams. um, but again, it's just I make stuff. I make stuff now, and I'll spend somewhere from a week to a month making it, but then there's no more concern about it on top of that. And a lot of the stuff is pieced together too, you know. So, I wanted it to be more, I wanted to put more focus on like why I'm here. Because I don't care about anything I've done like I cared about Slavery. I don't care about the new releases as much. I'm just doing them. I love them, and I create them for a reason, but they're not those big albums. They're not like Slavery and Portraits of Cain and Man Hates God. Those are really, really important, especially Handwritten Letters. Handwritten Letters is the most important thing I've ever made. So if you haven't heard that, listen to that. Out of all my stuff or all my side projects or anything like that, I just do that stuff for fun. It's to a point anyway. Sometimes there's a pretty awesome meaning. Most of the time there's a good meaning behind the music, but it's not important to me. Like Handwritten Letters, and I want to have the time to talk about it. By the way, all these revolve around Handwritten Letters. So yeah, okay. Thank you so much. That's why I made Portraits of Cain. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry that I ramble so much. All my friends make fun of me when they see these videos, but I still make them. And yeah, enjoy some good music, read some scripture, be in prayer. Don't miss. Don't don't avoid that truth like I tried to when I made that album. This mouse is for my other laptop.